Welcome to Ultimate Sleep Doctor. Tonight, we'll drift amongst the stars. Consider the extraordinary journeys of astronauts, pioneers venturing into the black velvet of space. Their bodies, exquisitely designed for Earth, now face conditions unlike anything we've known. Scientists are continually uncovering the surprising ways the human system adapts, or doesn't, to the weightlessness and radiation of deep space. It's a fascinating dance between biology and the cosmos. Perhaps in these vast reaches, we find a reflection of our own resilience, our innate desire to explore the unknown. It reminds us of the fundamental connection between ourselves and the universe. If you find these explorations soothing, please consider liking this video and subscribing to Ultimate Sleep Doctor. Together, we can soothe more wandering minds, one peaceful night at a time. Just breathe, let your thoughts drift like stardust. Let's begin. The vastness of space holds a profound beauty, but for astronauts venturing beyond Earth's embrace, it presents a set of extraordinary challenges to the human body. The very absence of gravity, microgravity, creates a ripple effect, impacting nearly every system within us. One of the most immediately noticeable changes is the unsettling reduction in bone density. Within Earth's constant pull, our bones are perpetually stressed and strengthened to counteract the force. Without this pressure, bone cells, particularly those responsible for building bone, called osteoblasts, slow down dramatically, and a process called bone resorption, where the body breaks down bone tissue, begins to accelerate. This leads to a gradual but significant loss of mass, primarily in the weight-bearing bones like the legs, hips, and spine. Astronauts can lose up to 1–2% of their bone density per month in space, a rate that would be considered incredibly dangerous for someone on Earth. Alongside bone loss, another critical concern is muscle atrophy. Muscles, too, rely on gravity to maintain their strength and size. In microgravity, the demand for muscle use decreases, and consequently, muscle fibers shrink and weaken. The muscles responsible for posture and movement, especially those in the legs and back, are particularly vulnerable. This isn't just about feeling weaker. It impacts our ability to generate force, crucial for tasks like walking, operating equipment, and even just getting out of a seat. To combat this, astronauts engage in rigorous resistive exercise programs using specialized equipment like Advanced Resistive Exercise Device (ARED) machines, which simulate weightlifting to rebuild muscle mass. These machines provide constant tension, forcing the muscles to work against resistance, stimulating their growth. The cardiovascular system also undergoes significant changes. Normally, the body's fluid shifts downwards due to gravity, resulting in increased blood pressure in the legs and a lower volume of blood returning to the heart. In microgravity, this shift disappears, leading to fluid accumulating in the upper body and a decrease in venous return. This causes the heart to work harder to pump blood throughout the body and can lead to orthostatic intolerance, dizziness, and fainting upon standing when astronauts return to Earth. To counteract these changes, astronauts employ countermeasures like lower body negative pressure, LBNP devices, which create a suction effect, pulling fluid back down into the legs and simulating the feeling of gravity. Furthermore, spaceflight has a demonstrable impact on the immune system. Studies have shown that astronauts experience a temporary suppression of immune cell activity, making them more susceptible to infections. The exact reasons are complex, potentially involving shifts in fluid distribution, altered stress hormone levels, and changes in the gut microbiome, the community of bacteria living in our digestive system. To mitigate this, astronauts receive prophylactic medications, such as antibiotics and antiviral drugs, and meticulous attention is paid to hygiene to minimize exposure to pathogens. Finally, research is ongoing into pharmaceutical interventions, medications that can actively stimulate bone formation or bolster the immune response. Bisphosphonates, drugs commonly used to treat osteoporosis on Earth, are being explored for their potential to slow bone loss in space. Other compounds are under investigation to enhance immune function and reduce inflammation. The constant monitoring of these physiological changes, coupled with these countermeasures, is paramount to ensuring the safety and well-being of astronauts during long-duration space missions. The earliest spacesuits, those iconic white shells worn by the Mercury 7 astronauts, were surprisingly simple in design. Constructed primarily from neoprene and nylon, they offered minimal protection beyond a basic layer of warmth. These suits were essentially glorified sleeping bags, providing a rudimentary barrier against the vacuum of space and the harsh solar radiation. The primary challenge was keeping the astronauts warm. The spacecraft itself was incredibly cold, and heat radiated away rapidly. The suit's limited internal volume meant relying on a bulky, inefficient cooling system to manage this heat. As the United States and the Soviet Union raced to advance space exploration, the demands on spacesuit design grew dramatically. The Gemini and Apollo programs necessitated suits capable of withstanding greater stresses and offering more extensive protection. Material science played a crucial role here. The introduction of Vectran, a high-modulus, low-weight fiber, revolutionized suit construction, offering exceptional tear resistance and allowing for thinner, lighter designs. Reinforced nylon and Nomex, a heat-resistant fabric, were also incorporated, providing crucial shielding against micrometeoroids and orbital debris. However, simply adding stronger materials wasn't enough. Maintaining a stable internal environment was paramount. Advanced life support systems were developed, utilizing chemical oxygen generators to replenish breathable air and carbon dioxide scrubbers to remove exhaled gases. These systems also regulated humidity, preventing the suit from becoming unbearably dry, and circulated temperature-controlled water to manage heat dissipation. The development of sophisticated thermal control materials, multi-layer insulation, MLI, became essential, reflecting radiant heat away from the astronaut's body. The Apollo-Soyuz test project in 1975 marked a significant step forward with the introduction of the AEMU, the Advanced Extravehicular Mobility Unit, which forms the basis of the suits used on the International Space Station today. These suits are vastly more complex and sophisticated, utilizing a liquid cooling and ventilation garment, LCVG, a network of tubes embedded within the suit's fabric to circulate coolant and actively remove heat generated by the astronaut's movements. Before any astronaut could venture out in a new suit design, it underwent an unbelievably rigorous testing regime. This began with static testing, where the suit was subjected to extreme pressures and simulated vacuum conditions. Then came doggone testing, literally strapping a human volunteer into the suit and moving them around in a large water tank, simulating the movement of an astronaut during a spacewalk. This allowed engineers to meticulously analyze suit performance, identify potential problems, and refine designs. Finally, there were extensive tests in parabolic flights, vomit comets, which created brief periods of weightlessness, allowing scientists to observe how the suit performed in a near-space environment. These tests, coupled with continuous monitoring and data analysis, ensured that every suit, every precious piece of equipment protecting human life, was ready for the challenging journey into the void. As astronauts embark on journeys far beyond Earth, a silent and pervasive threat emerges: radiation. Unlike the visible light that paints our world, cosmic radiation is a constant bombardment of energetic particles originating from distant stars and galaxies. These particles, primarily protons and heavier ions, are flung across the universe during supernova explosions and other energetic events. Closer to home, our sun is also a significant source, constantly emitting solar particle events, SPEs, sudden bursts of protons and electrons released during solar flares and coronal mass ejections. These SPEs can dramatically increase radiation levels in space, posing a serious risk to astronauts. The dangers of this radiation aren't just immediate, they're about accumulated damage. Cosmic radiation has a wide range of energies, and even low-energy particles can cause significant harm. When these particles strike human cells, they can damage DNA, the very blueprint of our being. This damage isn't always immediately apparent, but over time, it can lead to mutations, increasing the risk of developing cancer later in life. The longer an astronaut spends exposed to radiation, the higher the cumulative risk. Scientists have identified several types of radiation that pose a threat. Galactic cosmic rays, GCRs, are high-energy particles originating from outside our solar system, while solar energetic particles, SEPs, are generated by the sun. Each type has different characteristics and penetration depths, making accurate prediction and mitigation complex. Research is ongoing to better understand the precise composition of these radiation streams and their potential impact. Fortunately, scientists and engineers are developing sophisticated ways to protect astronauts. One approach involves shielding. Traditional materials like aluminum offer limited protection, but researchers are exploring advanced materials like polyethylene, water, and even regolith, the soil and rock found on the Moon and Mars, for their superior radiation-absorbing properties. Creating effective shielding requires understanding how radiation interacts with different materials and optimizing designs to maximize protection while minimizing weight. Another critical area of development is radiation forecasting. Using advanced solar telescopes and sophisticated models, scientists are striving to predict SPEs with greater accuracy. Knowing when a solar flare is about to erupt allows astronauts and mission control to take proactive measures, such as seeking shelter in designated areas within the spacecraft or station. Furthermore, research is underway into pharmaceutical protection. Scientists are investigating drugs that might repair DNA damage or enhance the body's natural defenses against radiation. Some compounds, for example, are being studied for their potential to minimize oxidative stress, a key factor in radiation-induced cell damage. While this remains an area of active investigation, it offers a promising avenue for reducing the long-term health effects of space radiation. Finally, spacecraft design plays a crucial role. Rotating spacecraft habitats, for instance, could potentially create artificial gravity, which has been shown to reduce the effects of radiation damage. Continuous monitoring of radiation levels throughout a mission, combined with these various mitigation strategies, represents a multi-layered defense against the unseen dangers of space. The goal is to ensure that astronauts can safely explore the vastness of space for extended periods, pushing the boundaries of human knowledge and discovery. The vastness of space is a beautiful and awe-inspiring sight, but for astronauts embarking on long-duration missions, it also presents a profound challenge, one that often proves just as demanding as the physical demands of flight. Beyond the physiological adjustments the human body undertakes, the psychological impact of confinement and isolation is a critical factor in mission success, and perhaps the astronauts' well-being. Spending months or even years in a small, enclosed space with the same few individuals creates a unique pressure cooker for the mind. Early missions, like those to the International Space Station, highlighted the difficulties in maintaining crew cohesion. Subtle tensions could quickly escalate when confined to a limited space, with shared resources and a lack of privacy amplifying any existing personality differences. The psychological strain manifests in complex crew dynamics, requiring constant vigilance and careful communication training before launch. Teams are meticulously selected not just for their technical skills, but also for their demonstrated ability to work collaboratively and resolve conflict constructively. Loneliness is a frequently observed phenomenon despite the constant presence of fellow crewmates. The inability to easily escape the spacecraft and experience the familiar comforts of Earth, a walk in the park, a visit with family, can lead to feelings of isolation and melancholy. This isn't simply a matter of missing loved ones. It's a fundamental human need to connect with the broader world. Researchers have observed decreased motivation and, in some cases, a sense of detachment from the mission itself, particularly during periods of reduced external activity. Boredom also presents a significant psychological hurdle. With limited entertainment options and a repetitive schedule, the absence of novel experiences can lead to cognitive decline and decreased productivity. Astronauts engage in a range of activities designed to combat this: scientific experiments, equipment maintenance, and of course, personal time. But maintaining mental stimulation requires deliberate effort. Furthermore, the disruption of the natural sleep-wake cycle in space, due to the lack of a sunrise and sunset, severely impacts sleep patterns. Chronic sleep deprivation exacerbates many of the other psychological challenges, impairing cognitive function, increasing irritability, and weakening the immune system. Recognizing these vulnerabilities, mission control and psychological support teams employ a variety of strategies. Virtual reality systems are increasingly utilized to provide astronauts with simulated outdoor experiences. A beach, a forest, even a familiar cityscape, offering a temporary escape from the confines of the spacecraft. Strict communication protocols are established, allowing for regular video conferences with family and friends, and utilizing messaging apps to foster a sense of connection. Sophisticated behavioral monitoring systems, employing wearable sensors and psychological questionnaires, are used to track astronauts' emotional states in real time. This data helps identify individuals who may be struggling and allows for early intervention. The goal is not just to manage symptoms, but to proactively promote mental well-being, equipping astronauts with the tools and support needed to navigate the unique psychological demands of spaceflight. Ongoing research continues to refine these strategies, seeking to better understand the long-term effects of space travel on the human mind, and ensuring the next generation of astronauts are prepared for the ultimate test of resilience. The space shuttle's return to Earth wasn't a gentle landing. It was a fiery dance with the atmosphere. As the spacecraft descended, traveling at an incredible speed of around 17,500 miles per hour, immense heat was generated due to friction with the air, far more heat than the astronauts could withstand. That's where the shuttle's thermal protection system, TPS, came in, a remarkably clever and complex system designed to shield the orbiter from this intense thermal stress. At its heart was a layered approach, a mosaic of materials working together to absorb, reflect, and dissipate the heat. The primary component was the reusable surface insulation, RSI tiles. These weren't solid blocks of insulation. They were incredibly thin, felt-like panels, typically around 0.02 inches thick. Each tile was made from a blend of materials including glass fibers, mineral wool, and a binder, all carefully chosen for their ability to trap air and act as a low-conductivity barrier. They were applied to nearly every surface of the shuttle's exterior, covering approximately 23,000 square feet. The tiles weren't uniform. They varied in color, white for cooler areas, gray for hotter, a deliberate strategy to maximize their effectiveness. The white tiles reflected a significant amount of sunlight, while the gray ones absorbed heat and radiated it away. Alongside the RSI tiles were the leading-edge tiles, specifically designed for the nose cone, the part of the shuttle that experienced the highest temperatures during re-entry. These were considerably thicker and made from a more robust material, a layered system of carbon fiber reinforced polymer featuring a ceramic coating. This layered construction was critical. The carbon fiber provided strength, while the ceramic coating acted as a highly effective heat shield, reflecting the majority of the infrared radiation. Analyzing the thermal performance of the TPS was a massive undertaking. Engineers relied heavily on computational fluid dynamics, CFD. Essentially, incredibly sophisticated computer simulations to predict how the shuttle would behave during re-entry. These simulations accounted for the complex airflow around the vehicle, the temperature gradients, and the interaction between the different layers of the TPS. Researchers used laser scanners to meticulously map the surface of the shuttle after each flight, capturing the damage to the tiles, burns, cracks, and peeling, providing invaluable data to refine the simulations and improve the design for future missions. Furthermore, thermal models were used to assess the heat generated by the shuttle's engines and other systems, further adding to the overall thermal load. This data was then fed back into the CFD models, creating a continuous cycle of prediction and validation. The sheer number of tiles and the extreme conditions they faced meant constant monitoring was essential. Sensors embedded within the shuttle's structure relayed temperature data back to mission control, allowing engineers to track the performance of the TPS in real time. This constant feedback loop was critical for ensuring a safe and successful return, demonstrating a remarkable blend of engineering ingenuity and detailed observation. As humanity sets its sights on journeys further into the solar system, to Mars, to the moons of Jupiter and Saturn, and perhaps even beyond, one of the biggest hurdles is becoming clearer: the effects of prolonged weightlessness. Spending months, or even years, in space presents immense challenges to human health, and a key area of research focuses on mimicking the familiar pull of gravity. The idea is that consistent gravity exposure would dramatically improve the well-being and operational capabilities of astronauts on long-duration missions. Several ingenious approaches are being explored. Perhaps the most widely discussed is the concept of rotating spacecraft. These aren't just spinning wheels, they're meticulously designed vehicles, typically cylinders or rings, that rotate around their axis. This rotation generates artificial gravity through centripetal force, the outward force that pushes everything towards the outer edge of the rotating structure. The faster the rotation, the stronger the artificial gravity, allowing engineers to tailor the level to a comfortable, manageable force, perhaps equivalent to Earth's gravity or slightly less. Researchers are constantly refining the math to determine the optimal rotation speeds for various mission lengths and crew sizes. Another intriguing, though more complex, method involves tangential acceleration. This technique proposes using linear acceleration, constantly pushing the spacecraft forward to create a sensation of gravity. Imagine a spacecraft accelerating steadily along a straight path. The crew would experience a force pushing them against the floor, effectively mimicking the feeling of being pulled downwards. The challenge here lies in maintaining this constant acceleration over vast distances, requiring significant amounts of propellant. Scientists are investigating the possibility of utilizing beamed energy from powerful lasers to provide this constant thrust, a technology still in its early stages of development. Beyond the engineering, a significant amount of research is dedicated to understanding the precise physiological effects of varying levels of gravity. Astronauts in space experience bone loss, muscle atrophy, and fluid shifts, problems exacerbated by the lack of gravitational stress. Experiments in neutral buoyancy labs, large pools that simulate the effects of weightlessness, provide a valuable stepping stone. These labs allow researchers to study how the human body adapts to different gravity conditions, helping them design countermeasures. Specifically, they're studying the impact of lower gravity environments on bone density, muscle mass, and cardiovascular function, hoping to identify the optimal artificial gravity levels to mitigate these risks. Current research is pushing the boundaries of what's possible, exploring levels of artificial gravity that might be too low for comfortable living, but high enough to significantly reduce the negative effects of prolonged weightlessness. Data from parabolic flights, aircraft that create brief periods of weightlessness, provides crucial insights. Researchers are also looking at ways to incorporate exercise regimens specifically tailored for artificial gravity environments, maximizing muscle strength and bone health. Ultimately, the development of reliable and effective artificial gravity systems is considered paramount to unlocking the potential of deep space exploration and ensuring the safety and success of future astronaut missions. The journey to becoming an astronaut hasn't always been quite so intense, though it certainly has evolved dramatically. It began, surprisingly, with the Mercury program in 1961, a race against the Soviet Union's early successes. The training was incredibly basic, focused almost entirely on enduring the extreme G-forces of launch and re-entry. These Mercury astronauts, like Alan Shepard and John Glenn, spent months in centrifuges, simulating the forces they would experience strapped into their tiny capsules. They underwent rigorous physiological testing, pushing their bodies to the absolute limit to understand how they'd react to prolonged acceleration. It was a crash course in survival, primarily centered on water survival techniques, learning to don a survival suit and stay afloat, because the early capsules offered little in the way of safety systems. The Gemini program, following Mercury, added a crucial layer: complex spacecraft operations. Astronauts learned to perform rendezvous and docking maneuvers, a vital skill for the planned lunar missions. Training involved intricate simulations, piloting mock spacecraft, and mastering the control systems. This phase involved extensive work with the Gemini capsule's onboard computer, a surprisingly sophisticated machine for its time. Physical conditioning also intensified, incorporating longer duration underwater workouts to mimic the weightlessness of space. This wasn't just about strength, it was about learning to function effectively with reduced gravity. As the focus shifted towards the Apollo lunar landings, training intensified even further. Astronauts underwent weeks of isolation in mock spacecraft, replicating the confines of the Apollo command module to study the effects of confinement and develop strategies for maintaining psychological well-being. They practiced piloting the lunar module, collecting samples, and conducting experiments. Essentially, they rehearsed the entire mission, down to the smallest detail. The Space Shuttle era brought a renewed emphasis on systems training. Astronauts became intimately familiar with the shuttle's complex flight controls, its propulsion systems, and its numerous onboard diagnostics. Robotics training was introduced, allowing them to operate the shuttle's robotic arm, a vital tool for deploying satellites and conducting experiments. The transition to the International Space Station presented a completely new set of challenges. Astronauts needed to master the operation of the station's life support systems, conduct scientific experiments, and perform extravehicular activities, spacewalks, requiring extensive underwater simulations alongside the use of specialized spacesuits. Modern training now incorporates extensive simulations utilizing virtual reality, mirroring a wide variety of scenarios, including emergency procedures like fire suppression and hull breach repairs. Selection itself has become increasingly competitive, with astronaut candidates needing to possess advanced degrees in science or engineering, exceptional physical fitness, and a proven ability to work effectively in high-pressure environments, reflecting the extraordinary demands of a career spent exploring the final frontier. The vastness of space isn't just about the emptiness. It's also filled with a surprising amount of tiny particles, space dust. This isn't just pretty stardust. It's a complex mixture of micrometeoroids, dust grains shed from asteroids and comets, and even material originating from the Moon and Mars. These particles, many smaller than a grain of sand, are constantly bombarding spacecraft, presenting a persistent and incredibly difficult challenge for engineers. The truly puzzling aspect is that in microgravity, the behavior of this dust becomes dramatically altered compared to Earth. Normally, gravity pulls dust to the ground, allowing it to settle and ideally be cleaned. But in orbit, there's no down. These particles don't fall. Instead, they dance, suspended in a chaotic ballet, creating what's known as abrasive particle flows. These flows, consisting of countless microscopic impacts, are like a constant, gentle sanding process against delicate surfaces. Consider a highly sensitive sensor, designed to precisely measure temperature or radiation. The continual bombardment by space dust can cause minute scratches and deposits on the sensor's surface, drastically altering its readings and undermining its accuracy. Similarly, within a spacecraft's mechanical systems, hydraulic pumps, rotating wheels, or even the joints of robotic arms, dust accumulation leads to increased friction, wear, and ultimately failure. The problem isn't just the initial impact, it's the buildup over time. Cleaning these surfaces in microgravity is an entirely different story. Traditional methods like brushes and compressed air simply scatter the dust, spreading the contamination further and making the problem worse. Researchers have been developing innovative solutions, including electrostatic dust shields, essentially charged surfaces that repel dust, and laser-based cleaning systems. These systems use focused laser beams to vaporize the dust particles, effectively removing them without physically contacting the surface. Another significant issue is material degradation. The constant bombardment isn't just creating surface contamination, it's also causing microscopic cracks and changes in material properties. Certain plastics, for example, are particularly vulnerable to abrasion, leading to a decrease in strength and performance. Scientists are actively investigating protective coatings and materials resistant to these abrasive particle flows. Predictive maintenance is crucial in this environment. Sophisticated sensors are being incorporated into spacecraft to monitor dust accumulation rates and track changes in component performance. Algorithms are then used to analyze this data and predict when maintenance or cleaning is needed, often before a failure even occurs. This proactive approach, combined with the development of more durable materials and effective cleaning technologies, is vital for ensuring the long-term reliability of spacecraft and the safety of astronauts working in the challenging environment of space. The future of space exploration hinges, in part, on our ability to tame this relentless, microscopic adversary. If you're still awake and enjoyed this exploration of astronauts, please consider liking this video and subscribing to Ultimate Sleep Doctor. Together, we can soothe more wandering minds, one peaceful night at a time. The stars have settled, the orbits have slowed, and the journeys of these extraordinary explorers are now complete. Let your thoughts drift, calm and unhurried, like distant galaxies, until sleep finds you. Good night.